أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته N8368 Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start off this dua for us, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي علمني ما هو خير عندك.
Translation.
Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge. Tazkira.
Perfect. Beautifully recited. Can I just say that this here is a noon sakin, yeah? And we always know whenever we come across a noon sakin that we need to look at the next letter. And do you know what the 6 letters are that don't allow us to hide the noon or read it from the nose?
Yes. Alif, Hamza, Ha, Kha, Ain, Ghain.
Perfect. Beautifully said. You're absolutely right. And as we can see, Dal is not one of those letters, right? So therefore, we make sure when we say this noon sakin that we hide it, that we say it from our nose. So rather than saying indaka, we will say daka. Okay?
Daka.
Perfect. Beautifully recited. Jazakallah for your time. Take
Excuse
care.
me.
Yeah?
Can I please call to the mic in the surahs?
Yeah, co-host, if you could make a note, please, to call the student again for the surahs, please.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, that's
Jazakallah.
perfectly fine. Jazakallah for your time. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Okay, so in terms of what we're doing today is Thursday, 27th of February 2020. The surah that we will be focusing on is Surah Al-Fajr, which we were all focusing on yesterday as well. But we will be carrying on with Surah Al-Fajr. We know it's chapter 89 of the Holy Quran, and it's also known as the Dawn. Our main focus is basically trying to get as many students on the mic today so that we can hear you all recite these surahs and see where we need to make improvements, and basically being able to apply all our rules that we have learned so far. So our first half of the lesson will be based on Surah Ash-Shams. Surah Ash-Shams was covered last week, but we will start off by going through the surah again and trying to incorporate all the rules that we've learned so far, try and include them into this surah. Yeah? Okay, so co-host, may I please have another student on the mic?
We can have A7406.
A7406, Assalamu alaikum. A7406, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start the surah off for me, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, you can recite this verse for me, please, Lord.
والسماء وما بناها.
Okay, perfect. So your recitation was beautiful. There weren't many mistakes at all. I mean, the way you prolong your letters, that was also perfect. And the way you stop at the end of a verse, remembering our Waqf rule, that was also perfect. You made sure that you said Talaha at the end, making sure that you do not say talah or anything else, but you said talaha, making sure that you knew the rule. Just want to point out two letters to you, a ha and a qaf. Now, ha is not a thick letter, but ha is pronounced differently to this letter here, yeah?
Yeah.
So we have this ha, which you recite from the bottom of our throat, and you have this ha, which is very simple. And it's much harder to pronounce it as well because you have both of the ha's placed together. But here is your opportunity to show that these two ha's sound differently. So when you read it, you should sound something like waduha. Did you see the difference?
Yeah.
So you saw that this one was recited from the bottom of my throat, and more emphasis was put on this. And when we said this one, we made sure it sounded simple. So could you just repeat this first ayat for me and try and get this ha out from your throat when you read it, yeah?
Okay. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا.
Beautiful, perfect. And now we can clearly see the difference between this ha and this ha, yeah? Just moving on to the last thing. This here, what letter is this?
It's a golf and it's thick.
It's thick, perfect. So you know what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
It's a thick letter, and whenever you say this letter, you make sure you give it a round circular mouth. And again, whenever you say this letter, this should also come sort of from the bottom of your throat. So wal qamari.
وَالْقَمَرِ.
Perfect. Beautifully recited. Yeah, Jazakallah for your time.
Jazakallah.
Yeah, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yes, we can have N8402.
N8402, Assalamu alaikum. N8402, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start reciting from here for me, please?
I can't unmute again. She, I think, unmute her. Oh, she's here. She's here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, wa alaikum salam. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, great. Would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and recite from here, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها رها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها.
Okay, beautifully recited. And again here, you did it. You read it perfectly fine. You knew that there was a noon sakin, there was a zal after it, and therefore we make sure that whenever we say this letter, that we read it from our nose. So you did give it a nasal sound. So yeah, that was perfectly recited. But there are just 2-3 things I want to point out to you. What letter is this here?
Ta.
A ta. And is that a thick letter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you come across ta, you know that we need to give it a circular round mouth because it is a thick letter, right? So you will sound something like وَمَا طَحَاهَا.
وَمَا طَحَاهَا.
Beautiful. Your ta was much better this time. And this ha here with the previous student, I also tried to explain that this ha should come from the bottom of your throat because again, even here, they've placed 2 ha's right next to each other. So it's even more confusing when you read it. But you still need to make sure that this ha is recited from the bottom of your throat, whereas this ha is just simple, yeah? So we will repeat this again. This time making sure that make sure that ta is a thick letter and the ha we read from the bottom of our throat, yeah? وَمَا طَحَاهَا.
وَمَا طَحَاهَا.
Perfect. That was beautifully recited. These next couple of verses, this next verse you read perfectly fine. Here, what letter is this?
Ra.
A ra. And I did see you made the correction afterwards when you saw that I highlighted it. But just a quick reminder, whenever we come across a ra and it has a fatha or a dhamma on it, we make sure that we give it a thick sound. Okay? Whenever there's a kasra underneath it is when we give it a thin sound. So this will sound something like ra. Yeah? Say it after me. Ra.
Ra.
Perfect. And again, we only prolong it for 1 second because it only has a fatha. Can you see this here? What letter is this?
Qaf.
Qaf. Perfect. And what's so special about this qaf? Do you know?
I forgot.
You forgot. Okay. So qaf is not just a thick letter, but it's also one of our kalkala letters, yeah?
Yeah.
So what happens when we come across kalkala letters?
Do you do thick then?
You don't necessarily do it thick, but you give it a jerking sound, yeah? So taqwaha.
Taqwaha.
So did you see this time when you were reading it, we didn't say taqwaha, we said taqwaha. And that is because qaf is a kalkala letter and we give it a jerking sound, okay?
Yes.
Right, beautifully recited. And again here, dal is also a kalkala letter. So rather than saying qad, we will say qad. Yeah? Say it after me. Qad.
Qad.
Beautiful. So nicely recited. Jazakallah for your time. Take care then. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yeah, next student is going to be, sorry, it's my thought. A7390.
A7390. Assalamu alaikum. A7390. Assalamu alaikum.
He is in the class.
He is? Okay, that's fine. May I please have another student?
Okay. A7391.
A7391. Assalamu alaikum. A7391. Assalamu alaikum. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start off from here for me, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Sorry to stop you. Could you start off from here for me, please?
وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها.
Okay. Perfectly recited. Perfectly recited. There is a few things I want to point out. First of all, this here, what is this letter?
Pardon?
What letter is this?
Noon.
Noon, perfect. And we can see that a noon has got a jazm on top, yeah?
Yeah.
It has got a jazm on top. And we know that whenever we come across this noon sakin, that we need to look at whether we need to read it from our nose or not. So let me just quickly take you to here. This was a lesson that you guys have gone through. It's just talking about whether or not you should recite the noon sakin from your nose or not, yeah? So it says, whenever you see a noon sakin or a tanween, you need to look at the next letter. In this case, we can see a noon sakin or tanween, and we will look at the next letter, which is, what letter is this? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So what letter is this?
Za.
So we have za occurring after the noon sakin. You ask yourself, is it a mushaddad? Well, no, because it doesn't have a tashdid on it. Is it a ba? No. Is it one of these letters, alif, hamza, ha, kha, ain, and ghain? Well, no, it's not. Za is not part of those letters. So what does that mean? It means that we recite this noon sakin from our nose. So we give it a nasal sound, a 2-second light nasal sound, okay? So, فَإِن زَلَلْتُمْ. Say it.
فَإِن زَلَلْتُمْ.
Perfect. So it's fa'il. We give that sound from our nose. And same over here, we have a noon sakin. Whenever we come across a noon sakin, we look at the next letter. What's the next letter? What's the next letter?
The.
A dal, yeah. And when is dal part of those 6 letters we were looking at?
No.
No, perfect. Let's quickly go back to the letters. Dal is not part of those 6 letters that we were looking at. It's not a mushaddad, that means it doesn't have a tashdid, and it's not a ba because it's a dal, right? So we need to make sure that we give it a light 2-second nasal sound. So ma dassaha.
Man dassaha.
Beautifully recited. What letter is this?
Where is it?
Here. What letter is this?
Za.
So this letter is a ta, yeah?
Ta.
And is that a thick letter? Do you know?
No. A thick letter.
So it is a thick letter. Yeah, that's totally fine. It is a thick letter. And whenever we say this letter, we give it a circular mouth or a round mouth whenever we say it, yeah? So, بِطَغْوَاهَا. Say it. So repeat after me. بِطَغْوَاهَا.
بِطَغْوَاهَا.
Perfect. So we can clearly hear the thick letter from here now. And again, you can see here, we have an ayn. It's not a thick letter, we know, but again, whenever we come across this ayn, we need to recite it from the bottom of our throat, yeah? So, إِذِنْ بَعَثَ.
إِذِنْ بَعَثَ.
Perfect. And this qaf, again, is a thick letter, yeah? So, we give it, so we prolong it for 2 seconds. Why? Because there is vertical fatha, and since it's a thick letter, we give it a circular mouth position, or when you read it, yeah? So ashqaha.
Ashqaha.
Okay. So perfectly recited. Jazakallah for your time. Take care then. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Before we move on, can I just make a quick announcement? Can everybody check that their video icon has a red line across it? Yeah, just try and quickly check if it has a red line across it. If not, press the video icon and the red line will come across it naturally, yeah? Okay, fine. Co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yeah. Next student is going to be A7381.
A7381, Assalamu alaikum. A7381, Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, he's here.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I am okay, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start off by reciting from here for me, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها.
Okay, beautifully recited, nicely recited actually. Just a few things I want to point out. What letter is this here?
قاف.
Yep, it's a qa. And is it a thick letter?
Yes.
Yeah. So here is the mistake. Whenever you say it, you need to make sure you give it a circular round mouth and you say this letter from sort of the bottom of your throat. So fa'aqaru. Okay, say it after me. Fa'aqaru.
فعقروه.
Beautiful, perfect. And this here is a meme. What sign is this? Do you know what it's called?
فتحة.
A fatha. And how long do you prolong this fatha for?
1 second.
1 second. So I know you don't know the surah like off by heart. That's why it took you a bit of time. You recited this a bit longer, but you need to make sure that you only recite it for 1 second, okay? فَدَمْدَمَ.
فدمدم.
Perfect. And here we see that there is a waw. What sign is this here?
vertical فتحة.
Vertical fatha. Whenever a vertical fatha comes, how long do we prolong it for?
2 seconds.
Sorry?
2 seconds.
2 seconds, perfect. So we know it's a vertical fatha, and therefore we will prolong it for 2 seconds. So فَسَوَّاهَا.
فسواها.
Perfect. And these last two letters, again, they're thick letters. Kha is a thick letter. Again, we give it a circular mouth when we say it. وَلَا يَخَافُ.
ولا يخاف.
Perfect. And a qaf is not just a thick letter, but it's also a kalkala letter. Do you know what happens when a kalkala letter comes?
You make a jerking sound from.
We make a jerking sound. Perfect. So now that we know that there is a qaf is a kalkala letter, so we give it a jerking sound. عقباها. Perfect. Nicely and beautifully recited. Jazakallah for your time. Alright, take care then. Allah Hafiz. Okay. So our focus was to look at Surah Fajr for today. I'm aware that you guys recited up to here last lesson, so we will be carrying on from this verse here. I just wanted to draw particular attention towards one thing, and that is long verses. Verse 16 here is very long, as you can see, and this verse 17 is also very long. So I have put 2 dots here and 1 here to tell you possible places where you could stop and then take a breath, because it's not impossible to read it all in one go, but it's hard to read it all in one go. It takes a lot of practice, number one, and also it's important that you incorporate all the rules, so we will make sure that we try and pause at the points where I have indicated. Yeah, so if I give you an example of this verse, I'll show you how I would read it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن. So as you can see, we have a mad saghir. That's why I prolonged it for 3 to 5 seconds. You can see that I stopped here, but I started off from فَأَكْرَمَهُ وَنَعَمَهُ. There are cases where if you stop here and the next letter is a vowel or a fa, that you can literally just stop there and start from the next one. So for akrama, there's a wa next to it. I can carry on, but I would advise you to go from the back, because that's not all the time the case where you can go from wa to fa, whether you can go from that place specifically onwards. Yeah, even if it's a wa or a fa, I would advise you try and go from the back, because this is all about knowing the translation of the Quran and whether you are allowed to start off from this place or not. Okay, and again, looking at this ayat here, وَأَمَّا إِذَا مَا ابْتَلَاهُ فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَهَانَنِ. Okay, again, making sure we prolong this for around 3 to 5 seconds. And even though I stopped here, I made sure that I started from somewhere here again and took it forward. Yeah, so these are just the 2 points I wanted. Well, that's just 1 point I wanted to make sure that you guys knew. So whenever we have now students come to the mic, try to stop at these indicated places, and I will underline from where you should where you should start. So here is one where you can start from. So stop here and start from here. Let me actually underline it for you. And here, if you stop here, you start from here. Okay? So co-host, may I please have a student to the mic?
Yes, we can have N8368.
N8368, Assalamu alaikum.
Come.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Okay. Would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start from this place here for me, please?
Sure. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فسب عليهم ربك صوت عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن.
Beautiful, perfectly recited. Mashallah, that was a very good recitation. We made sure that you elongated here, which you did perfectly fine. You also made a beautiful stop. You gave the ha sound, so for akramah, and then you started from the right place where I had asked you to start off from. So overall, it was a beautiful recitation. There's just one thing I want to point out, and it's this letter here. It's a ta, okay? And is ta a thick letter?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So whenever we say this ta, we make sure that we give it a round circular mouth when we say it, okay? So, sawta.
Sawta.
Perfect. Yeah, beautifully recited. Jazakallah for your time.
Jazakallah.
And take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yes, we can have A7413.
A7413, Assalamu alaikum. A7413, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, may I please have another student?
N8408.
N8408, Assalamu alaikum. N8408, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you today?
On the post.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Okay, would you like to start off with Dawood and Tasmiyah? And start off from here for me, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن.
Okay, sorry, 2 seconds. Co-host, could you please mute N8368
Okay.
because their voice is coming in the background, please. Jazakallah. Okay, yeah, sorry, would you like to start off from here, please, N8408?
بل أتكرمون اليتيم.
Okay, beautifully recited. Jazakallah for your time. Just one or two things I want to point out with you. I know this is a long verse and you're reciting it as you go along, which you're meant to do, but the issue is you're taking breaths in between, yeah? So you're saying وَأَمَّا إِذَا, and then you take a breath, and then you carry on, and then you take another breath. Remember, in Arabic, you can only take a breath at the place where you're stopping. Whenever you take a breath, you do waqf over there, okay? So, for example, this would have been such a long ayat for me to read, such a long verse, I can't read it in one go. So we made sure that we made a stop sign. Well, there's already a stop sign there, but initially you're not meant to stop there, but because you need to breathe, okay, this is a potential place where you can stop. So you can read it something like وَأَمَّا إِذَا مَا ابْتَلَاهُ فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ. Stop there and then start from here. فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَهَانَنِ. Okay? So it's just making sure that we stop at a place where we can so that we can take a breath, because taking breath in between verses is grammatically incorrect. Yeah? Okay. And again, what letter is this here? Do you know what letter this is?
Lam.
Alam, perfect. So you made sure that you beautifully recited the tashdid. So you went kalla balla. Now, this here is an alif attached to the lam, yeah? So you will prolong it for 2 seconds. So kalla balla. Say it.
Balla, balla.
Perfect. So you can see, even here we had an alif attached to the lam, so we made sure we prolonged it for a good 2 seconds. And even here we have an alif attached to the lam, so we prolonged it for a good 2 seconds. Yeah? Clear now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Jazakallah for your time. Take care then. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yes, we can have A7390.
A7390. Assalamu alaikum. A7390. Assalamu alaikum.
No, he's not here, I think.
Okay, that's fine.
He is in the class, but doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
can
that's
give
fine.
you, the other student is going to be A7, A7362.
A7362. Assalamu alaikum. A7362. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Okay, would you like to start with Dawood and Tasmiyah and start off by reciting from this verse here?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولتحاضون على طعام المسكين وتلملون التراث لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دقا
Okay. Jazakallah, that was nicely recited. Just a few things I want to point out. Well, there's a var on the next page, but let me just put a var here for you. Right, so it's easier to see. I don't know, does this look like a var? Probably does. Okay, do you know what this right here is?
ألف ولا
Wala, perfect. It's an alif, and therefore we prolong it for 2 seconds because the alif is right, sort of joined to the lam, yeah? So, wala,
ولا
perfect. We can see that there is a vertical fatha here, and we can see that there is a mud here, right? There's a madda here, and therefore we prolong it for a good 3 to 6 seconds, okay? So, rather than saying tahaddu, we will say tahadduna. Repeat after me.
تحدون
Perfect. So we prolonged this, but we made sure that we still made sure that we said the tashdid properly, that we put pressure on this letter here, yeah? So yeah, that was beautifully recited. One thing I do want to point out is that this letter here is an alif, okay?
Oh, that I might have done it wrong.
Yeah, but now you've done it perfectly fine. وَتَأْكُلُوا. Yeah,
تأكلوا
perfect. So we know that this is an alif and this is a kaf. Good. Ra. Do we read it thick or do we read it thin?
thick.
Thick. Perfect. We know we have ra. Okay, let me just draw here for you guys. We have one ra here. Not that ra here. These may not look like perfect ra's, guys, but I'm sorry. Okay, so let's say this ra has got... Oh, you can't draw on this, can you? All right. Okay, this has got a fatha on it. Yeah. This has got a dhamma on it. And this has got a kasra on it, yeah? So we have these two ra's with a fatha on top and a dhamma on top, yeah? So these are the two letters that will be thick. But this here is a ra with a kasra underneath it. And because of the kasra, this letter cannot be thick. We will only read it thin. So whereas you've got ra and ru, two examples of thick letters here, this is totally opposite. You say ri. Did you see the difference?
Yes.
So thick here for these two letters and then thin for this letter here. So that's what we're doing here. We have a fatha on top of a ra. That's why we will read it thick. And you prolong it for 2 seconds. Why? Because there is a blank alif next to it, okay? So, natura. So repeat after me. Natura.
Natura.
Perfect. And this letter here, how do we say it?
Ta.
Tha. Perfect. You said it perfectly fine now. It's a tha.
Lam.
And this here, what is this?
مشدد.
A tashdid or shadda on top of a meme, okay? So we put pressure on that. So lamma.
Lamma.
Perfect. Again here we have so many examples of shadda letters. وَتُحِبُّونَ
وتحبون
المال
المال
حبا جما.
Hudbajadma.
Perfect. So have you realized I said this letter from my nose? I gave it a nasal sound, yeah?
Angie.
And why is that? Because it is a tanween. And whenever we come across a noon sakin or a tanween, in this case we have a tanween here, we make sure that we look at the next letter, yeah? The next letter is a jim. And is jim part of those 6 letters we were looking at before?
It was, I think.
So let's go and check. Is jim part... Oops, sorry, I messed it up.
Actually, I think it's not.
It's not perfect. You can see jim is not part of these letters here. So that's why we make sure that we recite this from our nose. حُبًّا جَمًّا.
Hudbajadma.
Perfect. And same here. دَكًّا دَكًّا.
Daqa.
Yeah, we recite it from our nose because we know dal here is not part of those 6 letters, or it's not a mushaddad letter, and it's not a ba. So therefore, we make sure that we give it a nasal sound, okay? So yeah, perfectly recited. Jazakallah for your time. Take care then. Allah Hafiz.
What that is?
Allah Hafiz. Okay, co-host, may I please have another student to the mic?
Yes, we can have 87398.
Assalamualaikum.
7398. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I will lead you into recitation, okay? So I will say a word and you repeat after me, okay? And where need be, I'll just ask you a few questions, just to explain to you how the rule will work, okay?
Okay.
So would you like to start with Dawood and Tasmiyah first?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so now you repeat after me. فَصَبَّ
فصب
عَلَيْهِمْ
عليهم
رَبُّكَ
ربك
صوت عذاب.
صوت عذاب.
Perfect. We make sure we give full qira'ah here, and we know that this is a thick letter, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, next. Inna rabbaka
إن ربك
labil mirsad.
لبالمرصاد.
Perfect. فأما
فأما
الإنسان
الإنسان
إذا ما ابتلاه
إذا ما ابتلاه
ربه
ربه
فأكرمه
فأكرمه
ونعمه
ونعمه
فيقول
فيقول
ربي
ربي
أكرمن.
أكرمن.
So we remember we made a nasal sound here, and that's because sin is not part of those 6 letters. It's not a mushaddad, it's not a ba, and so we gave this a nasal sound, yeah?
Yeah.
And we prolonged this. Do you know what this is called?
Is it mud?
It's a mad, and particularly it's called a mad saghir, yeah? And we prolong it for 3 to 5 seconds, so that's why we made this extra long compared to all of these other prolonging signs, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. وَأَمَّا
وأما
إِذَا مَا ابْتَلَاهُ
إذا ما ابتلاه
فقدر
فقدر
عليه
عليه
رزقه
رزقه
فيقول
فيقول
ربي
ربي
أهانن.
أهانن.
So again, we extra prolongated this because there's a mad صغير here, yeah? Okay, moving on. كلا بل لا
كلا بل لا
تكرمون
تكرمون
اليتيم
اليتيم
ولا
ولا
تحاضون.
تحاضون.
Okay, make sure there is a shadda or a tashdid here, so you put emphasis on the dal. تحاضون.
تحاضون
Perfect. على طعام
على طعام
المسكين
مسكين
وتأكلون
وتأكلون
التراث
التراث
أكلا لما
أكلا لما
وتحبون
وتحبون
المال
المال
حبا جما
حبا جما
كلا
كلا
إذا
إذا
دكت
دكت
الأرض دكا دكا
الأرض دكا
دكا دكا.
دكا دكا.
Okay, so you can see that there is a tashdid here. So make sure whenever you come across this tashdid that you put pressure on that letter, okay? Rather than saying daka, you say daka, daka.
دكا دكا.
Perfect, beautifully recited. So yeah, jazakallah for your time. Take care then. Allah Hafiz. Okay, so just to have an overview of the surah, I will recite the surah once for you, so you guys follow along behind your screens. Just follow along, look at where I'm doing my thick letters, where I'm doing kalkala, where I have a nasal sound, and where I'm prolonging and so on, yeah? So just pay close attention towards every rule that we've done and follow along here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب. إن ربك لبالمرصاد. فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن. وأما فأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم. So note, this ra has got a kasra. So I will say, rather saying tukri, I will give it a thin sound. تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون على طعام المسكين وتأكلون التراث أكلا لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. Okay, so we can see again we extra prolong this because we have not just a mud letter here, but we also have a vertical fatha here. So we prolong it, but even though we have a tashdid, we prolong it very long for about 3 to 5 seconds and then we join it, but we still make sure that we put emphasis on this letter. Okay, so that's about it for today. Your homework is,
excuse me, sorry.
yeah.
One student wants to ask a question. Is it possible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
N8390.
N8390. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. So what's your question?
You know the register, when do you take it?
The register is taken at any time, to be honest, when there's mostly more students in lesson. That's when the register is taken.
Okay.
Yeah? Have I answered it perfectly for you?
Yeah.
Okay, take care then, Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz. Okay, so what's your homework for today? You need to go away and you need to go over Surah Al-Fajr again, especially the verses we have covered today. It's important that you try and apply all the rules that you have learned so far, your kalkala letters, your thick and thin letters, and whether or not you do noon izhar or ikhfa, whether you read the noon from your nose, that is. And you try and incorporate all the rules you have learned so far into Surah Al-Fajr. You need to remember that practice is vital for improvement. The more you practice, the easier it will become and the more of an improvement you will see, okay? Timing is extremely important and pronunciation is also extremely important. But before we finish the class today, can I have someone on the mic to recite the prayer after Tilawat?
Okay. N8373.
N8373, Assalamu alaikum. N8373, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, that's fine. Can I have another student?
Okay. A7390.
A7390, Assalamu alaikum. A7390, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for asking.
Teacher?
Yeah?
I don't know, they called me to the mic 2 times and my mic wasn't working. I think it's because of I'm wearing headphones.
Okay. That's fine. I'm sorry about that. Just next time, try not to put your headphones in, yeah?
Okay.
Because right now I can hear you perfectly fine. Are you wearing headphones at the moment?
Now I'm not. I took it off like 10-15 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. See, without your headphones, we can hear you much more clearly, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. So would you like to start off now, please?
Yes. To where?
Both of these lines.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة.
Okay, and the translation?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Perfect. Beautifully recited. Jazakallah for your time.
Yeah. Jazakallah, Khuda Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz. Okay, so that's about it for today's lesson. I hope that this lesson is beneficial for all of you. Do make sure that you... Co-host, could you please mute the person? Jazakallah. Okay, could you please make sure that you go through the homework, go through Surah Al-Fajr, and yeah, keep practicing and take care of yourselves. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.